Do it's Chemdork.
Hello everyone, this is Chemdork, and welcome to another episode of Season 3 of my Buildcraft, where we play Minecraft with the mods Buildcraft, Railcraft, and Forestry. Welcome back, guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be realizing a dream. We really are. We're going to be realizing the dream that I discussed last episode. It has nothing to do, really, with this. It's just, I like the way these lasers look. They're pretty cool. But no, it does not have anything to do with that. It has everything to do with these guys. Robots. And robots everywhere in my base. Not like that. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that in my base, if I go up here to the main door... Oh, and by the way, just FYI, I'm trying out a new recording scheme with sound and everything. So hopefully it looks and sounds pretty good, but I mean, let me know if it really looks and sounds awful or something, but I think it actually is pretty much better than what I've been doing. Anyways, back to it. My dream is... Oh, and yes, before I get into it, I put in a big tree. Yeah, there's a sequoia there, but I don't know how... I don't love where it is and how it looks, so I'll probably do something different with it. But anyway... Our dream we talked about last episode was to have robots flying all around when I come out here, and we don't really have that. We do have robots kind of going around. As you see, we have the carrier robot taking things from there to there, and yes, once again, I can always use pipes to do that. That's real simple, but it doesn't look as cool as having robots hanging around. And quite frankly, I actually have tons of charcoal, and I need to get rid of the charcoal, right? So we have, like... a bunch of charcoal from this tree farm, like oodles. So I need to just like waste it and use fuel. So what better way to waste it and also realize our dream about robots is to have a lot of robots flying around and power them with charcoal. And that's what we're going to be doing and working on today. It's just aesthetically robots flying around. And we're going to use possibly all 7 of these, but possibly not. To do that, there's a few ways we could do it. We could make the robots do something useful, or we can just have them move around, which is actually what we're going to be doing. And to explain this in a bit better detail, we're going to go into a creative world, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, and by the way, you might have noticed, I put on a front. I like the way this looks a little better, but anyways, it does work. My classic double doors that I like to do. Yay! So that if you go over one of these, it opens both doors, not one. And the same way, if I click this, it opens 2 doors at the same time. We've gone over how to do this before. We did it a bunch of times, so... But every single time I have to kind of work my way through it. I'm like, wait a minute, how does it go? Anyway. I'll see you there in a creative world where we're going to talk a bit about how we're going to set up what we're going to be doing today, and then let's get to it. Okay? So I'll see you in a second. So this is what I'm talking about. As you see right in front of me, I have a robot, and I've just programmed him to go back and forth from this station to that station, indefinitely, unless he runs out of power, in which case he goes to over there to grab some, or I turn that off. So how is this working? Well, first we need to understand a bit about how robot docking stations work and robots work, and then we'll utilize some features of robots in order to just kind of tell them go to a place. So you can do that, and we've done it before, but we really haven't gone into detail as to why and how it works. The first thing to understand is that gates normally come with their own sort of normal actions and triggers. So the triggers are the things on the left that trigger certain actions, which are on the right. So certain triggers are always available, so the redstone on and off are always triggers available on everything, even pipes that have really nothing to them, like a structural pipe. And actions are pretty simple too, like these are all the actions. Strangely, open and closed are available on the structural pipe, but they don't really make any sense. But when you add a docking station to a pipe, it adds some certain features. So let's look and see what happens, what's added in terms of triggers, and what's added in terms of actions. So in terms of triggers, we now see we have some things. We have sleep, we have station reserved, we have station linked, and we have robot and station, and I think that's it. Yeah. So we have these 4 triggers which are added. Sleep is when a robot is sitting there and they realize they have nothing to do, so they go to sleep. It's basically to prevent your CPU from constantly checking what's happening for robots. The programmers decided to say, hey, you know what, robots, they're going to check every so often if there's anything to do, and in between that time, we're going to say that they are, quote, sleeping. So that's what sleep means for a robot. It means it has checked, it doesn't have anything to do, and it's just sitting there until the next time it's supposed to check. Consequently, you can wake them up. That's an action that's available, that becomes available when you put a station on any pipe. And wake up just means check to see if there's anything going on, as far as I can understand. Station reserved, we talked about this before. This means a robot is on its way to the station, but is not yet there. Station linked is when a robot is calling this station home. This is a station for a robot. It is reserved for that robot. It's kind of like this, but the robot is actually either in the station at the time, or it's going about doing its business, like maybe getting power or something, but this is its home. No one can go here. It prevents any robot from entering into the station. Just like when you see this is green, all 4 are green. This is station available, I guess. That doesn't really have a name, but that's what I call it. If it's all 4 yellow, that means station is reserved, and all 4 red means station is a home for someone. It's linked, according to this sort of terminology here. And robot and station is pretty damn obvious, right? So wake up is an action you can do. Request needed items. You can do this even though there's no... this is not an item pipe. You can do this still. You can force a robot, and consequently you can forbid a robot. Force a robot does not make a robot go here, but it does indicate... Usually you use this in combination with another gate trigger to say that, or a gate action as well, to say that this type of robot is allowed to be at the station. Forbid robot, in fact, it's only this type of robot. Forbid robot is every other robot except for the ones that you place here can come to the station. So those are the opposites. And work in area, we've talked about that before. It's basically how robots work. Filter tool, it's specific for certain robots, and that's it. Those are the basics that are available on every station that has a docking station. And now it's actually worthwhile to talk about what happens when you have different types of pipes. So with, I'm just going to look at the item transfer pipe. This, if you have an item transfer pipe, an item pipe, it adds 2 new actions. The same triggers are available. The 2 new actions are request items. You can have specific items here, and accept items. And consequently, when you put it on a wooden pipe, you have to have an inventory here if you're using an item pipe. This action is not available if there's no inventory next to it. It can provide specific items or just provide items in general that are in that inventory, because this action looks at both the pipe as well as the connecting inventory. Cool. When you look at fluid pipes, it's pretty much the same thing. You have an action now that can accept certain fluids. Or, in this case, on a wooden one, you can provide fluids. You can also accept fluids on this one, too. And then the kinesis pipes, they actually add nothing. There's nothing added in terms of kinesis pipes, in terms of triggers and actions. This is always a trigger on the kinesis pipes, regardless of the docking station. Yeah, there's nothing else added. So, which of those can we exploit to make robots go places? Well, work in area works, but we need to give it a job. So we could probably set up a thing where we have a picker robot and we toss items on the ground and then we have it go pick it up and kind of bring it back. But the easier way is actually to tell robots to go home. Because if you notice, when we have this, let's see, I think I still have it here. If we have the gate action, go to station. This is an action you can set the robot to do. This means go home. It means go to your linked station. However, you notice we have a space here. So if I tell a robot to go home and I specify this is your home, we can make him move from his current place to the new place, which is exactly what this one is doing. So we'll look in detail to see how this is working. This is set up so that if there's a no redstone signal, he's set to just go home. It means go to your linked station and that's it. But if the redstone signal is on, it's also telling him to go home, but this time it specifies a specific location using this map location. And I basically right-clicking here, you'll notice that it has a location that specifies up, which is very important. If it does not specify that, it does not work. And that's it. That's it. And then what happens is when he's over here, this is just set to say if a robot is in the station, so as soon as the robot comes here, this will be true. And it says go home, but this time go to the other station. And that's pretty simple. So we can either have the robot go back to the other station and keep going back and forth, or we can have like a little circuit that the robot travels around. And that's what we're going to be doing in our main world, to have the robots go and travel around. And we're going to have a set of robots that just go around to different places. But along the way, though, they might run out of power. So once this guy runs out of power, he's going to be searching for power. So we're going to need to set up some power stations, and then we're also going to need to set up the places where the robots are going to go. Okay, so let's go back and start all that. I'm going to have to grab some items and whatnot, but yeah, it shouldn't take too long. All right, so see you in a second. So I believe I have everything for what we need to do. We're going to start to set up all the robots in and make this a reality. So first of all, where are the robots going to be stationed? They are going to have a home base, even though, as I just explained, what we're actually doing is changing the location of their home again and again and again. But eventually they'll be completing circuits, and eventually they'll find around this area where all my robots are, and this is going to be home. So we're going to be using the same type of idea where we switch them on and off. I just want these guys to always be on cobblestone structural pipes. So we're going to have 5 robots, and I'm just sort of setting it up like this. So the robot stations, okay, we have 20 docking stations. So each of these 5 robots, on average, should have 4 places to visit. We might have one having 3 and one having 5. I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't really done it. But I'm going to probably have them all go to different places, kind of different sequences to an extent. But anyway, so what we're going to be doing is setting these guys up pretty simply. In order to have them all controlled by one switch, we're going to be using some pipe wire. So let me set that all up. So here we'll run the pipe wire on these pipes. And then down over here, it'll just be a simple task of saying if you have a red stone signal on, turn on this red pipe signal, and then it's just a matter of saying they're on, they're off. And yes, I am using European or non-US convention, on, off. You've noticed I've done this on all of the robots. Down means they're on, and up means they are off. So for now, they're in their off position. But I'm going to clear the gate copier for a second, because we're going to use that in just a moment. So we're going to be set to red pipe signal on and red pipe signal off. Both are actually going to be set to go to station. So go to station, go to station. This doesn't make sense initially. I'm just going to copy it over here. Perhaps, but after we kind of know what we're doing, this red pipe signal on is going to be set to go to station, but with a map location. So it'll say, so off is just go to station, meaning this station. And then this one's going to say go to station, the next station in the sequence. And we're not going to set that up right now. But what we will do is I'll set up this sequence for one of these 5, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So you can join me in deciding how this one travels. But these guys are going to be all me. Anyway. But we're going to think about how to do it. So let's just say our sequence for this guy is going to be go from here, go to the B place, then go over here, and then go above my base, and then come back. So that's 1, 2, station 3, station 4, and then station 1 once again. You might think that the next place that we visit is going to be over there, but that actually doesn't make sense. What makes sense is that due to how this thing is going to be set up, I need to mark this location first, and I want to notice I'm staying above it because I want to make sure it has a number. See, -739, 6640, and up. It has to have the number, as well as the up. The up is very important, otherwise it will not work. So these go-to-station actions only work when you have them go to a specific station if that is a map location and if it is a singular point. If it is an area, it does not work. So anyway, this is going to be the destination of the next station we set up, meaning that we're actually working backwards. So if I said the robot goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, the next step we go to is there. So we actually go to the last one in the sequence, and then we work our way back. So we're going to set it up over there. I'm going to right-click on that one, and that's going to be the next location, which is for, I think this one is what I said? Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do it pretty quick. It's not going to take too long. It's just a matter of actually traveling there and deciding where these guys go, and making sure the robots can get there. And like I said, it's vital that we actually add some way for the robots to recharge as well. So I'll do this real quick, and then we'll set a way for the robots to recharge. So I think what I'm going to have this next station is going to be here. And I do want pretty much all the robots visiting this place, so I'm gonna have it here because this is, this is the home base. This is going to be the location, so let me go take the quartz pipe gate, and we're going to set it so that the robot, when he lands here, the robot is going to be said to go to station. If we just said that, it would land here and never leave. But if we tell it to go to that station, it's then going to go over to there. So that's what I want to set it up. I'm going to actually clear this for a second. And then I'm going to clear this gate copier and copy that because we're going to be using it over and over and over again. And, oops. And I want to set up the location. Okay, and so the next step in the sequence is going to be right over there. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. So let's go. Let us walk. Eat some bread along the way. So I actually restarted, so I was having some performance issues. I restarted and realized I was not using the right, it was, my Minecraft launcher was not pointing to the right Java version. I think what we're going to be doing is going up here. Okay, and I'll put the station like over here or something. Yeah, this seems fine. We'll kind of hide it over here. It's going to be fine. So let's just see. We'll put the quartz gate up. We'll set this to paste it in. Right now it's set robot and station, go to station, and it's going to... Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I forgot to copy the station. I knew I would do something wrong like that. So we actually need to go back up there. I'm just going to leave a pillar, and I'll just clean up later. Because I do want to get this thing going, because we do need to put in power today, otherwise it's not really going to work out too well. So before we left, we should have done this, which is put that location, mark it. You see how it's a different number now, and it still says up, so we're still okay. We'll do that. Okay, and then we'll come back. Yeah. No big deal, but it does take a little longer to do this. I was trying to avoid backtracking, and look what I'm doing, backtracking. All right, so this should work. And now I can probably reach it from here, and there we go. But before I leave, I need to mark this one, right like that. Okay, so it says up, and it's wait, is that the right? Wow, it's the same x coordinate as the home base. That's interesting. Okay, so the next station is going to be, I believe I said the beehive, so the bee place. So let's go and do that. And we'll set it up for one of these guys. And here I'm gonna have it up here. I'm gonna have the robots go up here. This guy's gonna go right here, I think. So there we go. Oh, I want to make sure I put a quartz gate there. We'll paste the information, and then we need to be careful not to right-click with the map location. Set the map location there, and then finally set the map location over here. It changed. That's good. And then we'll go back, and to complete the sequence here now, all we need to do, just in time too, because it's, oh no, it's actually the middle of the day, is to go over here and say that we need to go here. So right now it's set to go, it's telling it to go to the B place, then over here, and then it's going to go back here. And that's it. So I'm going to set that up for the rest of the 4. It's going to be in a different sequence for these guys, but hopefully it'll be enough to like mix it around, and they'll go in different places, and then the robots will whiz around everywhere. It's going to be fun. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I completed all that stuff for these guys, so now they hopefully will all be set up right. I say hopefully because if I misclicked and if I kind of got confused a bit, it's going to screw everything up, so hopefully it works just fine. We're making the robots right now, so we'll set them up, but we still have to do one more thing, and that is that when these guys run out of power, or any of the robots for that matter, it does take a while to recharge here, so I need a charging station, and we're going to set that one up over here. It's a bit of an overkill, but that's fine. I think we're okay to do that, and we're going to set it up right here. Let's see how we're going to do this right here. Yeah, so this is going to be the middle. And we're just going to set it up where these Stirling engines, because they're going to run on charcoal, and just like this. So Stirling engines, they don't put out that much power, but combined, you can combine them and they put out a pretty good amount. So this is almost like a little mini power plant. I actually do want to go down just one more block. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Of course I want to go down one more block. One more block. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. Stirling engines. Come on. There we go. Stirling engines. We might have 2 of these power stations. That's why I brought enough, but I'll be making 1 with you guys right here. So we'll set that up right there. We can just use stone kinesis pipes because these guys put out with charcoal, I think 10 RFs per tick. And this is 160 total that's allowed, which is plenty to be able to handle this. Gotta be careful when you're making these that you don't set them up to have a loop. So just connect with 1 like that. And then that'll be fine. There's no loops created. And then this is going to be the pipe that goes up that the robots sit on and recharge. I am going to kind of go up a bit so I can make this up. Because if the robots have to go anywhere, they're going to have to go up in order to recharge. There you go. And then I need some docking stations, of course, for the nice robots to recharge on. So right now, placing the docking stations right here tells the robots that this is an available place to recharge, even if it's not actually possible for them to get charged. And by that I mean, like right now, it's not possible to create power, but just by the virtue of it being a docking station on a kinesis pipe, the robots realize that that is a place to get power. So I'm going to say, I'm actually going to use iron for this because I'm going to use the red pipe wire for something else. And I'm going to say if there's a robot in station, let's give it a blue pipe wire. Turn on blue pipe wire. Do a blue pipe signal. And this is what's going to tell the power plant to actually turn on. Okay. So blue pipe signal coming down, right, just like this. Like this. Oops. And we're going to put them all here. So that's like that. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Got to connect them all. I think we're missing one. There we are. Okay, so it's all connected here. And then we're just going to have to set it up like this. And these are going to say, if you get a blue pipe signal, turn on the redstone signal. Hopefully these things don't... I have to probably set this up a little later to not go into the black state, which sometimes they do. There you go. And by that I mean they go into a state where you have to bang these engines with a wrench because they overheat. But I'll set that up at a later time. Not to worry about it right now. It's not too much a concern. In the middle is where they're going to be getting coal, because these guys got to run on something, and we have to request this coal. So we're going to request it like so. Let's see. I actually didn't need to do that, but that's okay. Let's see. Whoops, not like that. I want to make it here, and then for this, it just needs to be, yeah, just like this, I think is fine. More than enough. I'm going to be awkward here. Quartz gate. And then I need a docking station. This is going to be requesting coal. So it's going to say if you have, if you have a red pipe signal. So if there is a red pipe signal, it's going to be saying, then you request items, and you're going to request some charcoal. And you know what? I actually want half stacks, just so we don't overfill. That's fine. And then we'll set it up like this. Gate, gate, and gate. So each of those gates will be looking at both the Stirling engines. Oops, just like this. And there we go. Okay, so now this is going to set up to say if there is space in the inventory, send out the red pipe signal. Now notice what happens if I put a single piece of charcoal in this one and a single piece in this one. It's now off. It's not requesting. So it's only when it's like totally empty is when it really requests things. But that's okay. That's going to be fine. So I'll copy that and paste it for these guys too. And that means that the clay insertion pipes will ensure that we get everything into these guys first until it's all done. So this should still be in the range for that delivery robot. He should be on his way. We might have to cycle him in order for him to work, but he might be already working. No, he's not working yet. I believe it's still within the range of the delivery robot. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So otherwise he wouldn't be going. So we just had to cycle him so that he woke up and came awake. And that's it. That's going to be our power station. That's how it's set up pretty simply. So once a robot lands here, they start all the engines, and then the engines will power this. So that's pretty cool. Real simple. We'll make it look a little prettier a little later, but that's going to be how it works. So for now, let's try to close out the episode and realize our dream. We need to gather up our robots and make sure they're in the right place. It's a good thing, too, because it's getting dark out and monsters are out at night. But let's go see how our robots are doing, because I used this time to set up... to program some robots. So what kind of... Oh, it only does it one at a time. Darn it. That's okay. So what kind of robots we're using? We're actually using builder robots. First of all, they look cool. And second of all, we don't use them. And third of all, this is Buildcraft, so it seems that we'll do some builder robots. So I need to make all of these guys, all 5 of them, and I need to charge them up because I don't want them to be starting out 20% charged, so we'll need to use the charging table. But that'll take a little while, so I'll be back with all of that set up. And man, we're using like everything here. Cool. So I'll see you in a bit. I had a dream. I had a dream robots would be flying around my base just because they wanted to. So the robots that want to fly are, of course, the Buildcraft robots themselves, the builders. You'll notice I have different amounts of charge for these guys, and that's because I was a little lazy, but I also want to see them visit that charging station. But that means I actually want to have this charging station go away because it's not needed anymore. Since we have better options for you robots, go away. By the way, there are also 2 charging stations in my main base. I added them a while ago, like right in the charging the power column. So they'll charge robots really quickly. So robots can either choose to go there or to this little charging station that's sitting right over there. You can see it. It's kind of going up. The reason why I wanted to put it up as well is so robots didn't do this, travel along the ground. You lazy guy, go up in the air. Come on. Anyway. Let's place these guys down and into your new homes. Welcome to your new homes. Here you will fly around as you will. Ready for it, guys? Are you ready? Are you ready for the wonder that is? Here we go. Look at them fly, fly, my pretties, fly in all your locations. Good, they all traveled to the proper... Well, they all dispersed. This is cool. This is really cool. So they're just going to travel through around, and we're just going to kind of watch them go a bit. This guy, by the way, he seems like he's like, where is he going? I actually have a few that are going here. You see he's going right there, and then he goes to his next location, which, yeah, it's over there. And those guys are going in different places. Yeah, cool. One of those is going in here, I think, and one's just kind of sailing around. So from here on out, we'll just be going outside and seeing robots just fly around the base. Look at that. Both of them are kind of going in there. Oh, isn't that nice? The 2 friends are hanging out. You'll notice I cut holes in walls, and I do this occasionally just for the express purpose of letting robots go to different places like that. So as you see, there they go. They're kind of doing their thing. Wow, they're like all coming out of the train station. Yeah, I mean, the train station's a real popular spot, you know, and one's even going in there. You'll see we can go through this little hole in the wall. That was specifically made for robots. There's 2 stations in here. Oh, someone's coming. Ah, he's coming. He's coming. Look at him. He's coming. Oh, isn't he adorable? He's coming right through. Hello. Give it a little touch, and then he comes back out. Oh, it's so great. So this is exactly what I wanted to happen. Why are you going there? That's a weird route to take. I think he's heading back over to here. But anyways, there it is. We have robots flying around our base now. And is any one of them getting power? Does anyone need power? Not yet. But anyways, robots are flying around our base. It's really cool. And this is fun. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for today's episode. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to be doing something fun. Likely not with robots because we've done a bunch for the last few episodes. I think maybe it's time to hit back to the trains again because get our situation going with the oil town. And maybe we'll start on that. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye now. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. Hi.